Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be hauling some books. I have a book haul today. The last time I did a book haul was in the beginning of January, so these are all books that I've accumulated since then. To me, it's a lot, but like, I know that there's some people that do book hauls and it's like 80 plus books, and I'm like, I don't. I think if I were to wait till I've accumulated 80 plus books to do a book haul, it would be 2022 by then. So yeah, that's just me. I don't know. That's just me. Most of these books, I don't know what they're about. Like, you know, what a shocker, right? I feel like every time I do a book haul, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this book's about, but I have it now, and that's basically going to be the vibe of this video as well. Also, some of these books I have already read them in January or whatever. I'm gonna start with those, I guess. I don't know exactly how many books that I have to haul, and I don't feel like counting them, so I guess I'll count them when I'm editing this. I don't know. We'll see if I care enough to do that. Sometimes when I want to read a new book and I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it or not, I will just get it on like the Kindle app or on my Kindle and read the ebook, and then if I really love it that much, I will buy physical copies of it. So with that concept in mind, see that transition there? Seamless! Seamless transition. Anyways, I finally got physical copies of the first 3 books in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas. We all know that at the beginning of 2021, I became Sarah J. Maas trash. So we have A Court of Thorns and Roses, everybody's favorite, and mine as well, A Court of Mist and Fury, and A Court of Wings and Ruin. She's okay. You know, she's alright. She's not my favorite, but she's here. And she's here to stay. And that's what matters. Now, I have read every single book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series that's out right now, and notice how I only purchased these 3. So, you know, do with that what you will. The next book that I have that I've already read is Grown by Tiffany Jackson. I read this in February, and it was actually my favorite book that I read in February. This book is so good. So good. It was a little bit too fast-paced for me, but it was honestly, who cares, you know? Like, it was so good. Definitely recommend this one. It's a wild ride. At the beginning of the book, though, it does have content warning for sexual abuse, rape, assault, child abuse, kidnapping, and addiction to opioids. So that's all something to keep in mind when reading this. Proceed with caution, I guess. But yes, Grown by Tiffany Jackson. The next book that I've already read is Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. I also read this in February. It was okay. It wasn't what I expected. Like, I expected to love it a lot more than I did, but I liked it enough to trust the opinions of others that the second book, Take a Hint, Danny Brown, Take a Hint, Danny Brown is better. A lot of people say that this book is better. This is the next book that I'm hauling. As you can see, that another seamless transition has taken place here. This one was okay. I'm excited to read this one just because everybody says it's so much better. And the new one, I think Actor Age Eve Brown just came out like a few days ago, I think. So if I like this one, might just be picking that one up. So we will see what the future holds. The last book here that I've already read is Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift. I had to read this for school, and I hated it. So, like, I'm hauling it now, but I honestly will be unhauling this in the future. But I mean, I purchased it since my last book haul, so I felt like I can put it in the video if I want to. You know what I mean? This book sucked major cheese, didn't like it at all. If you did, I'm actually really happy for you that you had a much better experience reading this book than I did, because this book was actually like physically painful to read. Like, you know when like you read a book and it's so boring, you're just like, oh my god, I can't read this anymore. It's like that, but like times 1,000. So this is getting unhauled, but it's hauled for now. You know what I mean? Ooh. The next book I have is Agnes Gray by, what the fuck? I almost said Errant Bronte. The Long Lost Brother. Anne Bronte. Agnes Gray by Anne Bronte. I don't know what this book's about. What a shocker, you know? But I recently, in my last book haul, I think, I said I got the Tenant of Wildfell Hall. And I haven't read that one yet. Again, what a shocker. But I have been really interested in reading Anne Bronte's works because I mentioned this in my last book haul. her sisters definitely outshine her. And I want to know if that's because her books suck or her sisters suck. You know what I mean? Are they stealing the spotlight for a reason? Or do they just want it for themselves? You know? Like, why is she being excluded from the fame? I want to... I want to know. I've heard really good things about her books, though. So that's why I'm like, well, what's up, Charlotte and Emily? What's up? What's going on? But yeah, when will I read this? I don't know. It's really short, though, so hopefully soon. The next book I have is one that I am still surprised that I have not read. Like, everybody and their mom has read this book. It's The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. Again, how have I not read this book? I don't know. I think that I've always been kind of wary about reading it just because I've worried that it would feel a little bit too YA for me. But I've heard that other people have also had the same concern and they ended up loving it. So I don't see why I would be any exception to that. So I'm expecting to love it as well. Again, I honestly don't know what this book is about. I've heard the synopsis of this book like a million times at this point, and every time I hear it, it just kind of leaves my brain, like the synopsis to every other book. Obviously, as we all know, this book does cover heavy topics like racism and like police brutality and stuff, so I've heard that this is honestly just an amazing book and that it's just kind of like an important book to read, so I'm hoping to read it very soon. The next book I have is Sophie's Choice by William Styron. Don't know. Again, do I know what this book is about? No. But I have it now, and that's what matters. I'm pretty positive this has to do with World War II and like the Holocaust, but you know, don't quote me on that. The day I bought this, I showed my mom that I got this, and her reaction was, "Do you want to cry?" And I was like, yes. Book tears are truly the best tears, you know? The next book I have is Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. I have been wanting to reread the Mortal Instruments series for over a year now, and I just haven't done it because there's like 7 books. 7 or 6? 6. I don't know where I got 7, but there's like 6 books, and I just feel like it's gonna take me a while to get through, but at the same time, I honestly feel like I could fly through them all. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. But I'm finally going to start my Mortal Instruments reread this month. I'm actually hoping to start City of Bones this week so that I can read The Dark Artifices, because I've heard that this series is pretty good. And then after The Dark Artifices, I can read Chain of Gold. Look at that. Another seamless transition. Chain of Iron, the second book in the Lost Hours, I think is what it's called. This series came out like a few days ago or something, or like a week ago, and I have major FOMO. I have an issue with feeling major FOMO. If like a new book comes out and everybody's freaking out about it, I feel major FOMO. The Shadow and Bone show coming out next month, I have major FOMO over not being excited about it because I read Shadow and Bone like 2 years ago, didn't really care for it that much, honestly, and didn't care to continue the series. And here I am like, wow, I should have just continued the series. And it's like, but why? You didn't like it, you know? But because I have FOMO, that's why. So, am I low-key planning a read of the entire Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows books? Yes. Not because I genuinely care, just because I don't want to have FOMO. I'm holding up Shadowhunter books talking about Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows. Like, that makes no sense. But yes, I have these here. Hoping to read these pretty soon. Gonna fly through the Mortal Instruments as fast as I can so I can read this series and then this one. Why didn't I get the rest of the series and I just got the first books in each one? I don't know. That's a question for another day. The next book I have is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Do I know what this book is about? No. But I have it, and that's what matters. The only thing I know about this book is that I think it's about like college students, and everybody says it's like dark academia. Everybody says it's good, so I have it now. I have The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. Haven't read that one either. Her books intimidate me, and I'm not really sure why. I think it's just that I worry that her books are going to be boring. There's just something about them that gives off like boring vibes, if that makes sense. But I'm sure they're fantastic. Everybody says they're amazing, but I mean, then again, a lot of people say that other books are amazing, and I would disagree, so I don't know. We'll see. The next book I have is Death Comes to Pemberley by Petey James. I think this is supposed to take place after Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy get married, and like someone dies. Not Elizabeth or Mr. Darcy, but like somebody else dies. I don't really know. I think it's supposed to be like cute and fun. My mom gave it to me. She said it was a good time. So I'm excited to read it. The next book I got is The Witches by Stacy Schiff. This is another book my mom recommended to me. She said it's pretty good. I think it's about like the Salem witch trials, and that's cool. I am excited to read this, but I'm leaving it for spooky season because spooky season is the best season for reading books, and this is a very spooky season book. The next book I have is How to Catch an Errant Earl by Amy Rose Bennett. The story behind why I have this is because on Valentine's Day, my boyfriend thought it would be cute and funny to get me a mass market romance. I don't read mass market romances, so he was like, haha, cute little mass market romance. And I was like, haha, cute. But then, upon my research, I learned that this is a second book in a series, which he did not know. So me being me, I bought the first book in the series, How to Catch a Wicked Viscount. I don't know what a viscount is, so. I thought it said discount at first, and I was like, a wicked discount, like she's going shopping, but no, that's not the case. I have been in a romance mood lately. I've been wanting to read a lot of romance, and I've never read a mass market romance before, so when my boyfriend got me this, I was like, hey, this could be my intro to the mass market romance world, you know? So I'm actually pretty excited to read these, but the Goodreads reviews of these are like pretty average, but then again, maybe they're average to like avid mass market romance readers, and me being someone who's never read a mass market romance, like maybe these are gonna be like amazing. I just feel like the mass market romance world is like another beast. It's a whole different world out there that people like me are not very acquainted with, but would like to be, you know? So those are all the books that I have to haul today. Let me know if you've gotten any books recently, or if you've read any of the books that I talked about today. I'd love to know. Not sure when I'll be doing another book haul. I feel like this book haul came a little bit sooner than I anticipated from my last one, so I may be going on a slight book buying ban. I just feel like when the amount of unread books that I own starts to increase, so does my stress level. Not really that dramatic, but I would just like to keep the amount of unread books that I have below a certain level, because I just don't want my bookshelves to be filled with books that I haven't even read, you know what I mean? But yeah, that concludes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!